Last week, we learned the quickest way to fix your postural neck hump is to first identify and remove the biggest contributors to it. Then, to layer on the specific exercises that leverage the way your body is set up to work in the order that will actually realign your spine. It's that straightforward. Let's get to it. Today's video, I'm going to expand upon a few other muscles that doing these exercises positively influence. Then I'm going to share with you a couple contraptions to make using your electronics at eye level easier, making today's exercises even more effective. I'm going to roll in the exercise instructions, and then to make doing the exercises every single day a breeze, I compiled them in order, creating a 5.5-minute exercise routine for you. This way, each day you can push play and you'll be on your way to fixing your posture. Well, push play and actually do the exercises, and you'll be on your way to better posture. As always, we are leveraging the way your body works and layering on the next focused actions to get you results. When it comes to your neck hump, I shared with you in 4 focused actions to fix your neck hump video that the one of the most obvious and biggest contributors to postural neck humps happens to be the placement of your head. How you place your head can be influenced by many things. Your job, the way you exercise, if you carry children or heavy objects around all day, if you play a forward posture sport like golf or bowling. You get the idea. But by far, the biggest influence on your head placement these days is the amount of time spent looking down at electronics throughout the day. To exponentially improve the outcome of today's exercises that I'm sharing with you, please consider lifting your electronics to eye level as much as physically possible instead of lowering your head. Changing this one habit is absolutely the most supportive action you can take day in and day out. The reason it's the most supportive action is because the placement of your head impacts multiple postural muscles outside of the deep ones we're presently focused on, including your hamstrings, the ones on the back of your thighs. When our heavy head pitches forward, our hamstrings jump in. Our body would face plant if our hamstrings didn't counteract the forward motion. And over time, they get tighter and tighter as our head pitches further and further forward. Our neck hump, more prominent, creates also pressure on our knees as well as hips. And then there's this very popular muscle, your abs. It too is negatively impacted by the forward pitch of your head or a neck hump. It's one of the biggest reasons your lower ab continues to be pouched out and flabby no matter how you exercise it. We'll be addressing the lower ab muscles really soon, so shifting your head placement upward while looking at electronics will greatly enhance the progress you make when it comes to fixing the lower ab pouch, lifting your electronics to eye level to help you achieve your goal of fixing your neck hump. I pulled up a few options to make using your electronics at eye level easier. If you're at a desk, a table, relaxing on the couch, you've got options. There's stands like these. They're simple, they fold up, they go away. I have this one that I use directly on my desktop as well. This can be on a table. There's so many contraptions these days to help use your electronics at eye level, especially for times when you're sitting or lying down. I'm going to place some links below, and I'll put them in the comment section as well. Of course, if you're on the move, or for example out for a picnic lunch or a temporary spot, maybe on the train or standing somewhere in line, you won't be whipping out a stand, but simply raising your electronic to eye level is simple to do. Contract your lower abs to stabilize your spine, lift your electronics to the eye level. That quick contraction of your abs helps you position your shoulders better so they're not up here. Implementing this one simple action day in and day out will exponentially help you achieve your posture goals that would otherwise be slowed down by the ongoing hurdle, literally fighting the efforts you're making when it comes to fixing your neck hump. With that under your belt, let's move into the instructions for this week's routine. If you can follow along, getting into the position, as well as do the actions along the video, it'll probably be much easier when it comes to the routine. Whatever learning style works best for you, if you need to watch it first, or if we do it together in real time. But if you're gonna go along with the video, take a few seconds, find an armless chair or bench or ottoman that's comfortable to sit in. You'll want to sit nice and tall, have it so that your knees are approximately hip height. You can hit pause, and while you're moving to your armless chair, I'm going to switch over to the video screen to walk you through each of the positions. Here we go. Positioning yourself on the edge of your armless chair, your feet are flat, legs shoulder width apart. You'll begin by lifting your rib cage slightly up. Please relax your jaw, allowing your mouth to be slightly opened. You're tall, tall, tall. First, focus on your shoulders for 1 second. Lift them up, roll them backward, and then slowly slide your shoulder blades down your back. Great. Let's release that. Now, I'd like to ask you to simply press your shoulders back. Can you feel the difference that when we push our shoulders back, we're actually locking in muscles, especially in the area of this neck hump? But when we instead lift, roll, slide, you're positioning your neck and shoulder muscles in a way that makes for a way more effective workout. You can often feel the difference in your spine. It's the little biomechanical adaptations that end up making a huge difference. So we're sitting tall, we've relaxed our jaw, we've rolled our shoulders up, back, and the blades are now down our back. We take a nanosecond to see if we can lift our torso any more. Now your spine and the positioning of your shoulder blades position nicely down your back and your jaw relaxed. You've accomplished setting up the exact position that is key to the success of the exercises. This positioning is so key that throughout the routine you want to repeatedly check in, asking yourself, am I sitting tall? Are my shoulders relaxed and positioned well? Is my jaw relaxed and mouth slightly open? In the beginning, you may find the need to repeatedly reposition, and that's okay. Done consistently each day, the positioning will become habitual and actually more comfortable for you. Now, with the position under your belt, we move into the 3 focused actions that this routine layers onto this position. Focused action 1, using the lower third of your abs, pressing the air out of your lower belly. We practice this, went through all the detail of setup and how to find the particular muscles in Train This One Muscle. If it's still feeling awkward, everything is online for you to go back and check in and practice. With your spine tall and the pressing of your lower third of your abs, exhaling the air out of your open mouth, you'll notice that your pelvis tips a bit, actually rotating. And that's perfect. It's exactly what we want our body to do. With your mouth slightly open, the air is pressed out by the contraction of your lower abs. So we're using our diaphragm, our pelvic floor, as well as the lower third of our abs. Not to mention, you're stimulating the vagus nerve, which helps the relaxation loop, which helps your HPA axis, which reduces your stress hormone, helps drain your cortisol level. We are layering and leveraging, setting up your body to be more and more responsive to the efforts you put in. Please remember, when we are using the lower third of the abs, we're never blowing the air out. Instead, we're letting the work of our lower abs do the work of pressing it out. Typical sound you'll make is that, right? It's not, it's, this focused action runs throughout the entire routine. Focused action 2, where we are layering on the use of the deep muscles in the upper, middle, and lower region of your spine. You've got our deep upper, mid, and lower spine, tiny muscles being challenged as we're still using our diaphragm, pelvic floor, and lower abs. To do this challenge, we move our arms back and forth. As we move them forward, the palms of our hands face each other. It's paying attention to the tiniest of details that add up to the biggest impact. The way I have you rotating your hands in the different positions impacts the muscles of the upper spine and these little guys. They're not randomly chosen. As you move your arm back, you gently rotate, positioning your hands as if they're going to slap the wall behind you. When your arms are forward, your hands are positioned as if they would clap. Always sitting tall, tall, tall. As your abs contract, you move your arms forward. Now, as your arms go back, you're allowing the air to naturally inhale through your nose. As long as you keep your spine tall, you'll be working, strengthening your tiny, deep posture muscles and stretching any muscles that are tense or tight as well. Let's do that again. Sitting tall, 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 mouth slightly ajar, shoulders rolled up, back, and blades sliding down your back. Contract the lower third of your abs by pressing the air out of your belly region, emptying completely. And release. Perfect. There's one more thing to be cognizant of when it comes to this second focused action, and that is we will compress the lower third of the abs and use our arms at 2 speeds, slow and quick. Both are working the deep spinal muscles. The difference in the two is the way we inhale during the breathing. In the slow speed, you're using the HPA axis breathing, using your tongue technique, signaling to your nervous system. Place the tip of your tongue, applying your pressure against the spot behind your 2 front teeth. The video for in-depth how-to on this technique improves your well-being is in Calm Mind, Relaxed Body video. Tongue placement remains during the slow exhale and inhale reps. The exhale is always the same, whether in slow or fast mode. You're always expelling your air by pressing your lower abs. Inhale, though, during the slow reps is done by inhaling through your nose, filling your belly, torso, and neck. Then repeat your exhale by pressing the lower third of your arms. Don't worry about getting it all in sync initially. You have easy access to the other instructions and can revisit them, tweaking your slow inhale and exhale technique. Just first get started. During the quick reps, you're always allowing the air to move in and out naturally, which just means you're pressing the air out with your lower thirds as you release that, and you're lifting your chest high and your body tall, 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 and moving your hands back. The air that naturally comes in is what optimizes the training of your diaphragm. If any of the breathing feels awkward because you're new, you can get more in-depth guidance when we're done with this video by checking out the neck, shoulder, back, pain, train this one muscle, and then train this one muscle or instructions to the 2.5-minute routine. I share with you different ways to find and use those muscles and explain why using them is key to training your spine's #1 stabilizing muscle. We're already on to focused action number 3, the very last layer of what we're adding on today in this routine. And what we're doing is adding the muscle, the rhomboid, the one that goes from your shoulder blade to your spine. And for this, we're going to challenge our muscle with a variety of slow, then quicker arm movements to challenge it, still in the tall position. There's the crossover arm swing, where you lift your chest very high as you cross one arm over the center of your body. This challenges that upper spine more and more as you become more proficient and add weights. But don't jump into adding weights too soon. Technique is more important and will take you further than any weights. As a matter of fact, if you add the weights too soon, you're going to be pulling your shoulders forward. Take your time. You want to do this for a minimum of 90 days before you really feel you have the technique down, where you're really expelling and using your lower third of your abs to their best capabilities, where you're actually able to stay tall and strong. Don't worry, we are not going to wait around. We haven't waited around. We've always layered on. We're not waiting for 90 days before we add the next thing. We will get into the next segment where we're training your abs very soon. Be sure to hit the notify bell so you don't miss out on the 3 muscles series. Subscribing, of course, is the first step when it comes to getting the channel's content, but I just found out it doesn't guarantee you see every video. I learned that fact this week when a subscriber wrote in and asked why every video wasn't seen by her even though she subscribed. The answer I received from YouTube was subscribers are more likely to see the content, but it's the subscribers who set the notification bell to be notified of all videos from the channel that makes it possible for you to receive them all. And there's today's YouTube tip for us newbies to this platform. Let me go back to something I know a lot about. Simple self-care changes that reap exponential benefits for your body. Focused action 3 that we're layering on. The ones for this particular muscle here. We are first making sure our position is still exactly how it's supposed to be. Tall, 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 jaw relaxed, shoulder blades slid down our back. When we use our arms, we want to always make sure that we don't let go of the shoulder blades. We're keeping them back for a reason. Another arm movement that we're going to be doing is arm presses, starting with the single arm press. And tall, 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 your arms up to shoulder height. Rotate your arm as it moves back. You'll rotate the hand again as it moves forwards. Remember the clap and slap. Other side, you're going to take it back and then forward. And then we're doing together, back and forward. Moving into double arm presses. The arm movement is nice and controlled. Let go of an extra repetition instead of trying to keep up. Again, you'll work into going faster with ease later. Most important is keeping your posture, which is your tall back, relaxed jaw, and shoulders in place. The next version of arm work is forearm folds. First, we'll alternate one and then the other. Once you got a hang of it, add your own resistance to the movement. You'll do it one at a time, then both in and out together. Please never snap your elbows. You are always in control and you're stopping just before they are fully extended. And you're also reaching out. This is activating many of your arm muscles. As you see, I'm holding the weighted balls. The 2-pound hand weights that I'm using are only an example of what you can work up to when you're ready. We are now ready for the daily routine. But first, a quick thank you. Thank you to each of you who are taking the time to click the thumbs up button. Last week, we hit 63 likes and more than 4,500 views. That is more than all the videos prior to that one video combined. I can't express enough how I appreciate your ongoing support, so thank you. Because as I mentioned, those who get to see my videos is totally out of my hands. YouTube takes cues from you, and I'm grateful each time you click like. And for all those who are following from week 1, congratulations for your unbelievable progress. This routine continues to be a big part of your HP axis work, training your vagus nerve, optimizing your cortisol, reducing your stress, and setting up your body to achieve your goal. Now, let's add this week's routine. As in the past, when it comes to the exercise music, if you're not a fan, hit mute. Have fun. You're gonna feel so good by the end. I look forward to sharing more Simplify Self-Care with you next Sunday. See you then.